Hello everyone, this is Donnie, aka Elevated with Dota Alchemy, and thank you for tuning in again today. And today we're going to do a little bit more of this drafting content that you guys have been asking about. So this was a game that I just played recently, and I wanted to kind of explain my thought process as to why the hero was the hero that I picked, and why you can be a little bit more creative with your picks in pubs than I think a lot of people kind of allow them to be, and why that's okay. And basically what I'm showing here is the draft. I had my character selected in the safe lane, and after seeing the Keeper of the Light pick, I was originally going into this game probably thinking of playing something like a Bloodseeker or an Ursa, and as soon as I see the Keeper of the Light picked, both of those heroes don't really seem like the best choices for the safe lane. Coddle is one of the most annoying heroes to lane against for a melee hero, really for any hero in general. And especially for a hero that relies on being in the creep wave and kind of being up in melee range all the time, trying to pressure people. Coddle's super fast, he's really hard for those heroes to hit. So I wanted to stay away from that. And so then as we watch this draft progress, we have a Mirana pick for the offlane, our two supports, Grimstroke and Ogre, and then we have a Phoenix on the other side. And so they have a lot of magic damage. Again, Phoenix could be run as a support, could be run as an offlane. As soon as they pick the Pugna, I decide, okay, there is absolutely zero chance that I'm going to pick a Bloodseeker or an Ursa, or really any traditional carry for that matter, because you will just get absolutely run over in this lane. There's just too much early magic damage. Both, all three of these heroes, honestly, are good at just kind of like shoving the wave into your face and diving you under tower with more magic damage than most heroes can handle. Even a hero like a Spectre or a PA, or even a Lycan for that matter, might struggle to even sit in the lane. So there's just too much magic damage for me to pick a traditional hero. And so that made me think that I should explore something that has a lot of good innate regen. So my first initial thought was a Lycan, but then I realized that not so good against Coddle. He's very ultimate dependent. It doesn't give you a lot of uptime as for being able to do things on the map. And Keeper of the Light is pretty good about counter push. So not necessarily something that I want to be picking. So my next thought was then Dragon Knight. And Dragon Knight was something that I basically had settled into. Dragon Knight has a lot of regen, and so I just wanted to focus on having the ability to stay in lane against a large amount of magic damage harass that I know is going to be coming out. I started thinking, okay, well, we have this Mirana. That's a hero that generally tends to be a right-click semi-carry / carry as the game progresses. And our mid player had Sniper moused over in the mid lane. He seemed to be pretty committed to picking Sniper. And so that lineup definitely lacks two things. One, initiation, and two, somebody to create some space between the Sniper and the Mirana, who are doing damage from a distance. And so I settled on the hero Doom. And Doom is a hero that in pubs, you will basically never see picked in the safe lane. But it's something that the professional players run safe lane occasionally, depending on what the meta is. If Doom is a strong hero, we'll see Doom in the safe lane pretty regularly, actually. Ramses has played Doom in the safe lane quite a bit, and I believe we even saw Fear play it when he was on EG, and it's a hero that likes a good start and really just doesn't care about harass, because the way that you build a Doom is you get Scorched Earth, which gives you incredible amounts of HP regen. He has a large health pool, which means that magic damage takes longer to chew through that. You show up to lane with a bunch of regen, 6 tangos and a healing salve, and then you just go Scorched Earth build, and you're able to basically just sit in the lane and actually pressure the aggressive duel or even tri-lane against you, and you don't really care. Doom is a hero that has traditionally been run in the off lane, in metas where it was a 3-on-1 just because of his ability to handle that kind of situation. So I thought Doom was a pretty good pick here. And actually, he has quite a bit of magic damage output, which is pretty decent against squishy heroes like the Pugna and the Keeper of the Light. And quite frankly, Doom just owns Morphling. He's one of the hardest counters to the hero because all you have to do is get the Doom on Morphling and he just becomes not a hero. He either has very low HP pool and just melts to the Doom in an Infernal Blade, or he is morphing into strength when you Doom him, and then he can't do anything useful or put out any damage in the fight either. So essentially, as long as you can get the Doom on Morphling, Morphling is not a hero. And Doom is a hero that can naturally, eat a creep, and then he has a Lincoln's popper if the Morphling goes for the Lincolns. So there's just a lot of ways for Doom to deal with Morphling. And that particular pick by the other team, the Morphling, cemented to me that this was a game where I need to pick Doom, and I need to pick it specifically to be able to be that tanky frontliner who runs in, allows my sniper to just do damage from way far away from the other team, and I can just be a wall. I'm going to build a pipe. I'm going to be just a damage soak so that I can take all of the pressure away from everybody else on my team. We go sniper, and then the other team picks a Bloodseeker with the last pick. And I don't have a whole lot to comment on with the Bloodseeker. It's pretty good against Mirana. I was very happy with my pick of the Doom going into this game. And that's really what I wanted to just kind of explain, is that it's okay to deviate from the meta and even what your own personal interpretation of the meta is, if there's an opportunity to pick the right thing. And you know how to play the hero, obviously. That's one thing that we always talk about, is hero comfort is very important. And if you can pick the right thing, it's a hero that you're comfortable with, and even though it might not normally fit the role that it's in, as long as it can work, and this is something, again, that the professional players have run a lot in professional games, is a Doom safe lane. So this is not some weird thing. And I'm not even going like Radiant's Doom carry. I'm going literally off-lane Doom, but playing it in the safe lane, which is another thing that professional players do. They take their position 1 and they put him in the off lane because it just happens to be a better hero matchup. And then they take their off laner and they put him in the safe lane because that's a better hero matchup. Now that can be kind of hard to do in a pub. It's pretty hard to convince your safe laner, for example, to be like, hey, do you want to switch lanes? Because I need to have a better lane. Most people are too self-absorbed in their own play and their own matchup in the game that they really don't think about helping their teammates out by switching lanes. At least, up until maybe like a mortal bracket, that's something that's more common, and obviously something that happens in the professional scene all the time. So in a pub, it can be hard to convince your teammates to make that switch and work with you. So instead, you just pick it. You pick the lane switch, basically. You execute a lane switch by picking the hero that is good for this game, and then you just run it in the lane that you're in. And so that's what I did here. And you can see that as we head into this game, essentially, I'm just kind of eating harass throughout the laning stage. I'm just leveling up my Scorched Earth. I was not able to find a purple Satyr creep, which would have been the super ideal example of what you want to do in a very high harass lane, but I'm just going to do my best to get as much farm as I can, keep my HP pool relatively high. I don't want to be feeding this lane because anytime I'm dead in this lane, Pugna can just start pressuring the tower, and I don't want that to happen as well. So I can basically just sit here in the lane, keep the lanes pushed out, keep pressure on the other team. I'm with an Ogre Magi, who's another great kind of tanky hero that can just help me out and hang out with me in lane and basically just like eat all of the harass. Just imagine if this lane, just imagine if I was a PA or an anti-mage or a Spectre, I would be getting completely owned. And so having a 1000 HP level 4 hero with the ability to have a massive amount of HP regen is something that's very, very nice. So you can see that basically I'm just being pressured. They end up bringing a Keeper of the Light up here as well. So now there's a tri-lane. And I'm just kind of sitting here eating the damage, popping my Scorched Earth, just healing up, hanging out, making sure that they can't pressure the tower. And then as we jump farther into the game, you'll see that my itemization is basically just pipe first, helps my team out, helps me out. I'm basically doing exactly what I need to be doing in this game, which is being that wall. You can see my team is just kind of walking around behind me. I'm zoning people off of the objectives as we walk towards them, and tanking the tower even so that my team can hit it safely. And this is how we need to be pressuring the map. My team actually has very good positioning in this. They're all realizing that I am the frontliner, and they're hanging out in good spots to be able to impact the fight quickly, but without risking themselves, because they don't need to. I am the one that risks myself because it's not even that risky to do this. As we jump a little bit farther in the fight, you see that I go for a Blink Dagger. We needed the initiation, as I mentioned in the drafting part of this video. And so Blink Dagger was obviously a great choice here. I didn't want to go Shadow Blade. It doesn't really work very well with the Mirana Invis as well already. Sniper sometimes goes Shadow Blade, so it'd just be too much Invis. Being able to instantly jump the Morphling or instantly jump the Phoenix is something that we definitely want to be able to do. So you can see that we smoke up here, and I jump in, and I accidentally hit my Infernal Blade instead of dooming, and the Phoenix gets off the Supernova. I get ruptured. I just have to sit here and take a bunch of damage. But you can see that they had to expend a lot of resources on me, and my team is just doing damage from afar. So yeah, I totally messed up in this particular instance. Didn't get my doom off, but as a result, we take a nice trade, we win the fight, and this allows us to continue snowballing this game. I go for a Halberd, and I took the evasion talent. I just wanted to be more and more tanky, and obviously the Halberd is great for popping the Morphling's Lincoln Sphere, which he will be buying at some point, or anyone else's Lincoln Sphere. It's good for getting ruptured and just stopping the Bloodseeker from doing damage to me. And then I go for, the various creeps. Sometimes I had the Alpha Wolf. Sometimes I had more disabled with the Root or another Lincoln's Popper with like a Purge creep or a stun or something like that as well. And we can just kind of slowly pressure towers. You can see our gold lead is very high now just because we have complete map control. They really can't push into us, and they really can't get much done. And you can see that I'm just like sitting here taking a bunch of damage. I get a double doom off. I do go down, but again, we win the fight. I took all of the damage from my team, and we're able to get 3 buybacks out of the Radiant side. And yeah, basically, so at the end of the fight, we're obviously just completely controlling the map. We've only taken 1 tier 3, but the other team is really finding no space. Look at our Mirana, has a huge amount of last hits, a huge amount of net worth. So she really is the carry. And then Sniper, of course, is carrying as well. And I'm just being my off-lane self. I've got the Lincolns now, which allows me to not get ruptured, so I can move around a little bit more easily in fights. And the Sniper is just an absolute beast. Nothing he can really do to be in trouble. And I'm able to get the Morphling with a Doom after he mantas. Guess correctly. He goes down, and that's basically the end of the game. So obviously, it's nice to show replay where the game plan works out, but I just wanted to show that this kind of thing does work, and this was something that was premeditated. It was planned. It's okay to approach the game in a slightly different way than you would normally, the status quo, approach the game. And I did want to say that as we look at the end of this game, I have done this in the past, and my teammates will flame me for the pick. They'll flame me for how I'm playing it. But results speak for themselves. And if that's happening to you, you just mute your team and you continue to do your job correctly. Don't boss your team around. Just do your part, and your team will respond positively most of the time. It's only when you start kind of trying to dictate the entire game, tell everybody what to do, yell at people, flame your teammates, that's when things get bad. And that's when people are going to look at you as sort of like the black sheep, the odd one out, the one who picked this weird thing in a weird spot. So I hope this helps you. I just really wanted to kind of express my thought process for this draft, and I hope that it helps you kind of maybe formulate your own and kind of just give you guys a little bit of insight into my head and what I think about during the draft. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you did in the comment section below. We really appreciate your support here on YouTube, on DotaAlchemy.com, and we love making videos for you, so keep tuning in, and there will be more content coming your way very soon.